Doesn't
Really?
want to obey.
Spinning. There we go. It's time for ConserVengers episode number 24. We're even starting a little bit early, which is even more shocking because Kash is going to be on the show. I don't think we've ever started a show early when Kash was a member of the show. He is calling in from the DC jail, and we are very excited to have him on. And what they do every night at 9 p.m. Eastern time is they sing the national anthem. So share this episode out. Kash is going to sing the national anthem with his group there at jail, the Patriots that are political prisoners. They are going to sing the national anthem. This is on all of our pages. This is on Streetlights. This is on Kash's page. This is on BetheChange. This is on BetheChange Facebook, all the above. Please share this out there. And once they do the national anthem, we'll have Kash talk a little bit about what's going on, what he sees, and maybe take some questions as well. We've, of course, got Casey, Easy, and Kevin from Liberty Revolt as well. Let's go ahead and get the show started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for ConserVengers episode 24. I believe as though Easy just put a flag in the comment box. Let's see if I can bring it up. Actually, Casey, can you bring it up out of curiosity? Because I have the other thing that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got. What's up, Kash?
We're about to do the national anthem.
All right, everybody. We've got about 220 people watching. We need a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, share this episode out there as we are going to kick it off with a DC prison edition of the national anthem. And, of course, we'll have Kash talk a little bit afterwards until his privileges are revoked for being too damn good-looking or too short. One or the other. We don't know. All right, we've got Kevin, Easy, Casey. Kash, let me know when you guys are about to get started.
Taller when I lay down.
Taller when you lay down. Yes, we know that, Kash. Just things you probably don't want to say while you're in jail. Somebody said, shit, you guys are on time.
Be nice, Chris.
There you go. Need you to be louder, Kash. There we go. Casey, take your hat off. There we go. So they do this, I believe, every night. Kash, do you guys do that every night?
Every night.
So you're, somebody said, who is it? Deborah Hennigan said, Kash, it's your Auntie Boots. I love and miss you, son. Do you know who Deborah is?
Tell her I said love her and I miss her too. Yeah, that's my auntie.
She can hear you. So you're on the microphone right now. So tell us a little bit about how that all got started with you guys doing that in jail and doing the national anthem. Is it every night?
Every single night at 9 p.m. we do it.
When did that start?
This is the thing. I don't even know. It's been like since we got here.
It's crazy. So despite you guys, I mean, you got a big group that y'all get along with, obviously, and then there's some that you don't. But is it really everybody in there gets together at 9 o'clock every night to sing that? Every single one of y'all?
Yep, all of us.
All come together under one flag. So we've got some people you've never talked to on the show. You, of course, know Casey, Kevin from Liberty Revolt Media.
What's up, Casey?
Oh man, miss you, buddy.
And then we've got Kevin. Kevin's awesome from Liberty Revolt Media. And then we got Easy E. Eric is in the house. He joins us a lot on ConserVengers. He did get a little too drunk a couple weeks ago, which was hilarious. And then last week, Kevin got a little too high. So that's the way ConserVengers has been going.
Okay. Wish it was in better circumstances.
Yeah, no kidding. So give us the update. What's going on in jail?
Not much, man. At this point, I'm just here. I'm just coasting through now. I'm in mode, I guess, and I'm just making the best of it. They be having like this boil water alert, and we still got to drink that water. You know what I'm saying? That they say we're not supposed to drink without boiling it. We still got to drink it. They let us out of our cages more now, but we're still trapped up in the which we'll call like the deck. You know what I'm saying? You got two tiers. They got the top tier and the bottom tier. Top tier comes out, bottom tier is locked away. Bottom tier comes out, top tier is locked away. But we all go outside for rec together, and we get that every other day. So it's like Monday through Friday. It'll be like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then on the next week it'll be Tuesday and Thursday. So tomorrow we go outside for rec. But yeah, besides that, same crappy jail food. There's nothing really changing in here, man. Everybody just keeping hope. Right now they got the prayer circle going. We pray every night, and yeah, I mean that's it. It's the same stuff.
So what have you? Because I know you're able to watch a little bit of news in there. What have you been able to watch? What have you been watching lately? What have you heard? Did you get to watch the ever popular?
Yeah, I've been watching the Mike Lindell Cyber Symposium that comes out on War Room, but I don't know how to take that. But
so
yeah, I was watching that, and I watched a little bit of liberal CNN because that's all they got on the tablet besides America's Voice, Newsmax, and OAN.
Oh, so if you've got America's Voice, you've got God, what's his name? The guy that I met, like kind of what's his name?
Dan Ball.
No, I'm trying to blank on his name. He's got one of the biggest followings on American, or maybe it's Red Voice. I don't know. What's the when it comes to what you guys are doing out there? Is there any talk from your lawyers about when things might actually change, where you guys can actually meet?
Nah, not at all. They're doing us bogus. I've never heard of this ever in my entire life. How they're doing people with these cases. They haven't given anybody their discovery. They violated due process laws. Nope. And then they're giving people continuances for 60 days, and then another 60 days, and then another 60 days, and they're not letting people leave. And then I don't know. They got the worst excuses. They're saying that even people that want to take it to trial, they won't be able to fight their case until next year sometime, which makes zero sense. So it's like this is un-American. They do stuff like this in third world countries.
What's going on? So you guys are right next to. You guys are right next to the more violent offenders that are again not convicted either. But you guys, are they getting trials? Because I know you guys are one cell block over from kind of the worst of the worst, the ones that are being tried with murder, rape, etc. You guys are right there. The gang crimes, are they getting their due process?
Well, I don't know what they're all convicted of, but I don't know anything about their cases.
Okay.
Some of them could be convicted already. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that they got us a specific unit that's just January 6th. So it's all guys just January 6th. They don't mix us with the other guys.
Does anybody Casey, Kevin, Eric, do you guys have any questions for Kash while we're on here? And by the way, while they're thinking of it, I do want you to know I was obviously not wanting to watch the Mike Lindell Symposium. We had a lot of people asked. I did watch the 20-minute intro, which was actually quite good. I will give it that it was quite good.
Yeah, I did too.
It's a lot.
But you know what it is? I'm sitting there watching it, and he's telling the stuff that we were saying literally in November. It was all the videos that we got called crazy for, and them pushing the votes through the tabulators over and over again. The way that they took the votes after it happened, they took the little USB drive, gave it to whoever they gave it to, which was supposed to be like law enforcement or something, and then drove them to whatever next station that they had to go to. It's reiterating all of that. But we already had said all of this. It's just now, I guess, he's got the proof behind it with packet captures or something like that. So I don't know. Hopefully something comes of it. If not, doesn't change the fact that we are still sitting here in DC. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kevin, Eric, Casey, what do you got? Anybody?
Hey, Cash, it's Kevin here, man. First of all, nice to meet you, dude.
Yo, what's up, bro? It's nice to meet you too.
Hey, so I'm really intrigued. You're currently not just yourself, but there's a lot of people in that prison with you that are currently being held by the U.S. government in what most, including myself, would say are completely unconstitutional terms, completely violating the system and everything like that, showing exactly what the U.S. government is capable of doing to its domestic enemies. And yet you guys are still singing the national anthem. Why?
Oh, yeah. Because we're Americans. This is what we stood for. This is what we will stand for. This is what we're always going to be. America is a unique place on this planet. This place was founded on freedom, on liberty, freedom of religion, religious persecution, freedom to just be, to exist. As long as your views doesn't hurt me, like physically, or harm the well-being of our country, then you're able to do whatever you want. That's why over here we have such a mix. We have black, white, Asian, red. It doesn't matter. There's a whole multitude of people. You have a bunch of different religions. You have a bunch of different ideologies. You even have two-party system. You have different political beliefs, and you're able to have those simply because you live in this country. We all live in this country. But what I find to be the messed up thing that's happened in this country now, where you have sitting congressmen and women that come out, the ones that fund the prisons, and say, look, I want to see these prisoners. I want to make sure that their living conditions is acceptable. And then they tell them, no, that you can't come in here. That happened. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out here and they would not allow her to come in, even though the marshals allowed her to be able to come in here. And then on top of that, because of that, just how you know it was a wrong committed, the warden got fired. That hasn't made the news, but the warden of this jail got fired because of it.
I think it's interesting. We live in a world where there's Olympic athletes that just cannot stand the national anthem, and they've been giving every privilege known to mankind. Yet we've got a bunch of prisoners that are being held against every American rule and treated like garbage by the American government. And you guys are still taking pride in the national anthem. I think that speaks volumes.
It's amazing
for what's going on. But
yeah, I actually. My question.
You guys, I want you to do me a favor. If you could stay on ConserVengers, I'm gonna let this brother use the phone real quick, and then I'm gonna jump right back on.
All right, call me in a bit. We'll do at least an hour show tonight.
I'm gonna call you back in 15 minutes.
Sounds good. Later, brother.
All right, brother.
Bye. Eric, hold that question.
I will.
We have a limited amount of time. Just got that. We got that 15 minutes per call, and then the U.S. government completely picks our pockets to make the phone call again. But I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I get it. Like, somebody broke laws and it shouldn't just be a free phone call. I completely understand that, but it's a little pricey. It took me a long time to learn to fill the account instead of take every call, because every transaction was like $4. Yeah. So what would happen is I would take the phone call, pay each time, and I would get the $4 transaction plus the other like $3. So each call was $7. Now I can do the $4. I can do the $4 one time. And then each call is about $1.50 or so. So
prepaid.
It's still messed up because, like, technically most people in there are innocent still. Technically, shouldn't. You're the one getting punished for his call. So like, it's crap, bull crap. I do want to ask, how did you and Cash
So funny story. John Tisha, just go ahead when we're done. Go ahead and watch the beginning. So Cash, well, what happened was Cash was like this big and I was like this big, but then when we laid down, it was much okay. That's what he always says. So, by the way, if anybody wants to know, ConserVengers is a political show and we have a lot of fun. It is a safe space for conservatives and we make a lot of jokes. Just to give you a heads up, to put that disclaimer out there. So Cash and I met, for those of you guys that don't know. I had done my first episode post George Floyd when I had started BetheChange. We did like Truth Will Set You Free number 2 or 3. First it was COVID. Second was COVID. Third it was George Floyd. And I did it with some group of friends. I did it with Curtis and Aaron Smalls, and we had some guests. and we killed it. I thought we did fantastic for a group. We had literally 700 people that were following the Be the Change page, and we still had like 50 to 100, like 50 to 70 people watching that whole show. And I was like, we were good at that. That was a solid 2 hours. And then somebody, a friend of mine, sent me a video of Kash, and I was like, I resonate with that dude. I got to get a hold of him. And he had that was the one where he was with the tank top in the car, and he's like, when are Black lives going to matter to you motherfuckers? Like, and he's like, you're about to get, and he's just going off, and he had like 20 million views. At the time that I saw it, it had about 5 million. I sent him a message. The first post in his car. I sent him a message, and I've now become Facebook friends with this other guy. So he was in juvie with a guy by the name of Migali Russo, and he saw my message, and he assumed that I was the guy that he was trying to look for from juvie from 10 years earlier. So he reached back out to me. We talked on the phone. He was on the show 2 days later. I was like, is he going to show up? I don't know, because he was at the time doing interview after interview after interview. And we hit it off really, really, really well. And then we became friends. And then I became godfather to Nova, who, happy birthday if Erica's watching. I was not a liberal. I don't say I'm not a liberal now. I'm just not a leftist, to be very clear. To be honest, when Kash and I met, he did not know his political beliefs just yet. He was kind of figuring out why people could like Trump or dislike Trump, but things quickly changed within about a month. It really goes, I miss Russo trying to reel Kash back in. True story. But yeah, that's how we met, and that's how we became close. And and I visited. I drove through town because my grandpa was sick, so I drove up to Michigan, and I stopped at his house. Did not expect him to be 5'7", which was quite funny. I was expecting this larger than life dude, and when I got out of the car, one of his kids was like, "Oh man, you're tall," and I'm like, "Oh, Kash is gonna be really short." Super weird. Anyways, but that's the story. And now I heard when Kash was on a show, and one of the call-ins was that Migali, whatever how you pronounce his name, was the call-in, and they, I think he's Italian, of course. And he called in, and it was funny because I heard Kash crying, I heard the other guy crying, totally bogarted the show. I'm sitting there and going, if it wasn't for this dude, I probably wouldn't even know Kash, and my life wouldn't be completely different. 80% of the time, great. 20% of the time, ridiculously daunting and awful. But regardless, changed everything. So, anyways, that's the backstory.
Oh, he gives off a vibe like my best friend Kobe, who's also a dude from Oklahoma. So I was like, I get it, Kobe. If you ever watch this, just know, like, I miss you, bro. He's one day he's got to be on the show with you guys.
Are you telling everybody you have a black friend, a black best friend? Is that what's
I never
happening?
mentioned? I just said he was my best friend. That's all I said about Kobe.
I can tell where it's going. Is he white or black?
He's black. Well, he's half. What's really interesting is his family, the black part of his family, came to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears with the Native Americans as slaves. Yeah, his father's ancestors came to Oklahoma as slaves to the Native Americans on the Trail of Tears. So just remember, when you're crying about the Native Americans, throw an extra tear in there for their slaves.
Hashtag white supremacy. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Kobe's the kind of guy where you have to re-eliminate. It's like Michael Malice says, you take one red pill, don't take the whole bottle. Like, come on, slow down there a little bit, bud. But
all right, well, he'll be back on in a minute. Do you guys want to play a quick video?
Let's do it.
You want to do this one? This one to me, you know what? This one's all audio, so I feel like Kash can hear this one. So let's not do the Wake Up with Linda video. Let's do the Jen Psaki TikToker, which makes me want to throw up. So let me bring that up real quick. I don't think Casey has seen this yet.
Nope.
It's a shame.
I may be the only one. This is, if there was news, this was it.
The fact that this is what our White House is putting out right now, it's horrific. I think I did the audio. I never know. Tell me if there's audio.
See you, Daddy. Bye.
Is there audio?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute since I don't have my headphones on. And ready, set, go.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vogue.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative.
Hi, White House, this is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS.
Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. All right here.
Cooper.
Sorry, Miss Jen.
Hey, Jen, don't forget to have fun.
Spirit fingers, mama.
We need to get shots in the arms of every single American.
I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
No.
But we're
No,
gonna
I
do
really don't
something
want you
this
to make more of
time
this, to be
with-
very clear. I think that's a horrible idea for you to make more.
No. There's
How
no-
crazy is this? Go ahead, Eric.
I mean, can we just dissect what we just saw? There was a person in, I don't know, I'm assuming drag, I guess, in the White House, talking about making nail appointments for who should be the busiest press secretary in the country, considering all the hammered bullshit we need to deal with right now. They don't care. They don't
He's
care.
drunk.
This
No.
is them laughing in our face.
They don't care. This is
100%.
them literally laughing in our face and telling us, "Ha, you suck."
This is like 3 levels of propaganda, right? First, it's propaganda from the left in America because, like, it is. Second,
Casey's face is too good. He's like,
what did I just watch?
I'm still trying to comprehend. I'm still trying to compute what I just watched.
Yeah.
Dude, like, it's propaganda for the Russians because they're going to show it like, this is America, y'all, look. Like, and it's propaganda for the Chinese because they're going to just be like, this is America, y'all, look. And so it's like our White House is doing the work for everybody, I guess, at this point, you know. My God,
this is like the moment where China like looks at each other like,
we won. Yo,
Now?
guys, we won.
do we push the button now? Okay, that's like we have woke military. We've got a White House that puts out these jokes during a mass pandemic. And again, I'm on the train. I get it. Like this, our numbers are going back up. I think that there's some weird stuff going on. I'm not going to discuss the fact that I think it has to do with the V word. I mean, based on some of the research I'm doing on the side, I think that it does, but I'm not going to get too much into that with the fear of being banned off of these websites. But to see what they're allowing themselves to waste time in the White House doing from such a weak perspective is mind-boggling. Meanwhile, China's national anthem has changed in the last 3 years, where it is all about world dominance and taking over the rest of the world. Before Biden was president, he said, don't worry about China. Stop joking about them eating our lunch. Since then, he literally says they're about to eat our lunch. And it's not really played out by much because they don't want him to sound like he flip-flopped. But fact is, other world powers right now are looking at how weak we are as a country. And you're going to play a video from inside the most secure building in the country of this kid playing with his nails, flirting with a waste of space White House press secretary. It's mind-boggling. Come on.
Anybody surprised by our current government?
That one surprised me. That one actually surprised me. Because they're supposed to be, they're the side that takes this COVID thing so insanely serious, which they're failing at. We talked before the show, they were talking shit about Trump. They were talking a lot of shit about Trump and about how he couldn't get a handle on it in 9 months. This is now almost 2 years of it. And we are now we're regressing back to where we were in the beginning. And it's got nothing to do with, I mean, they're deploying the vaccines. They're not working. Let's be very clear. They are not working for hospitalizations. The numbers that they're putting out there are false. Every other country is showing why they're false. Otherwise, we mathematically have this miracle of the same vaccines. It's not working, although we can all know from the nurse we brought on last night, guess what? They're not actually being accurate with their reporting, regardless. So all these different things going on, and meanwhile, you've got this thing being shown inside the White House from a White House that's supposed to be taking this so serious, and they're failing. They talk shit about Trump, and they're failing blatantly right now to do and get a handle on it. There's got to be more than just masks, which scientifically, I don't know how to say this, There's peer-reviewed papers that show don't work. Period. There's literally nothing that's going to prevent that. Yet there's places all over the country bringing the mask back.
We're playing charades
Diapers
now.
on our face next.
See, the problem is y'all trust peer review. Have you ever heard of James Lindsay and Peter Boghossian? Yeah,
Jesus.
like there's peer review is
Yeah,
not doesn't mean anything anymore.
Imagine if Barron Trump did something like this.
Yeah, well,
By the way, have you seen he's like 6'7" now?
Yeah, he's
he's gonna be
a
on
freak.
he's gonna be on
But-
the Lakers or the Knicks one day.
Whatever.
I
He'll own
missed
the
it.
Lakers
He's
one
white.
day.
I don't know if I missed that, unless he's like,
But if Barron Trump did
So is
this,
Larry Bird.
what would happen?
Like
If
no,
Barron
it's-
Trump ran around the White House recording a TikTok and doing random BS,
I mean,
it's
you saw what happens when Don Jr. does it, and he gets ripped to shreds. They're even
Ah,
worse
Don
than his kids. Like, oh, by the way, you guys are aware now that Biden is turning to OPEC to address our oil shortage. When about a year and a half ago we were completely energy independent. I mean,
We don't need that pipeline, though, Kevin.
No,
Come
we-
on, dude.
no.
We don't need that
pipelines
thing.
are dangerous.
Why?
Unnecessary, too dangerous. Like, there's things you don't know about it that I need to, make sure that some other government agency knows about first so that we can protect some wildlife population. Okay?
Yeah,
We can't
you
have
don't
stop
care-
and rational stuff.
You don't care about wildlife.
Come on,
no,
guys.
You are so anti-birds and things.
Why
love
would
the
you-
Russians?
Why would you ever want to make your own country able to produce its own oil when you can support people like Khalifa bin Mohammed al whatever from Saudi Arabia? I should know these things. That was supposed to be my area of study. But or Vladimir Putin, because by the way, at the same time he's shutting down the Keystone XL pipeline. He's saying, "Hey, go ahead, Germany. Look, Merkel, we get it. You really do want to continue being a part of Russia. The whole Berlin Wall thing was a mistake. We understand. You can build that pipeline between your two countries, so you
How
guys can
dare
get
you
cheap
point
oil."
out governmental hypocrisy?
Hey, it's crazy. It's
How dare
wild.
you?
It's almost as funny as Rousseau thinking there's any way that anything the government can do with some level of competence.
Yeah. So speaking of Don Jr., he had a funny tweet today. It said, "Guess what? Jeffrey Epstein didn't do 2 years ago." Well said.
I got my reminders on Facebook for it too.
I'm waiting for them to show up in my memories right now because I
Every
went on a
single one of them.
rampage.
Share them all. Don't let the world forget this one.
Well,
So good. Well, I want to
so
wake
when,
up.
when are we
I
going to
wanna,
start the Como didn't kill himself? When is that
right?
going to start?
He's gonna Hillary Clinton to kill himself.
Don't blame it on some
Two
bad
shots to the back of the head
contracting
for
mafia.
those who are unaware.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have you guys take the show for about 5-10 minutes. I gotta make a quick emergency phone call. So pick your
Go.
poison. Enjoy. I will be right back. I promise. Sorry, weird one.
You're
Hold on a
good.
sec. All right.
I'm just
All right.
happy we have internet and Q didn't shut it. Whoa, fix
Oh
that
my
angle.
God.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey, come on.
I want to find out. So, how was the queuepocalypse?
It was fantastic. All the stores are closed, the banks are closed, our internet's not working. I got the broadcast alert on my TV.
It's like that's been
I don't know what I'm
scheduled
gonna
since
do.
mid-June. For those of you unaware, that's been scheduled on the schedule since like June 17th, and they do these regularly. They're tests of the emergency broadcast system. It's
There's no queue. There are.
Well, there's no queue. It's
They
just
don't
17.
know you, and you don't know them.
It's okay.
I know my alphabet, guys. There's definitely a queue. Okay,
It's silent. Let's be clear.
look, man.
I
I
don't
could
know how
choose
I'm
it.
going to communicate with you guys if we don't have internet. Like, what are we going to do? Internet's gone.
This is actually all happening through telepathy. We are reaching into your guys' minds to project the image of a screen because, as Mike Lindell noted, the internet is shutting down today. There is no more internet. It is or this is the new quantum internet. Who knows? Did you see some of the stuff they were making claims about? Like, obviously you did, Casey, because you are in fact Q himself. It's Casey Rasmussen. Okay, let's get this right. Well, what were some of the things that were like predicting outside of the internet shutdown?
Well, it was mostly the same stuff we went over last November. and then it came up a little bit in March. But last November, they said this exact same script.
Yeah.
You're going to have an outage of data. Like you're not going to have internet. You're going to have stores shut down, banks shut down. You're going to need to have 3 weeks of food and water on hand. You're going to have no access to the internet, and the internet is just not going to load. But the TV is also not going to work. It's just going to replay the same these same videos over and over and over 24/7 for the next 10 days. And then after those 10 days, they will replace the internet with the quantum internet. And then by the end of the month, they will be able to replace it with a Starlink communications network.
So this is all Elon Musk in reality.
Probably, dude. It's one of his. Yeah, this is one of his market manipulation tools. Let's get real. Maybe
this is all Elon
maybe
Musk.
everybody on Starlink can generate like
hey guys,
battery-powered Tesla tiles on their house. Not like it's a good play. I'll give it to him. Like solid marketing scheme. Elon, Q, same dude.
We want to play. So we got Cash back on the line, guys. We want to play this "Wake Up with Linda" clip. Sorry for the emergency. I still don't have it taken care of, so I might pop off again right afterwards. Let's see. Share Chrome tab. I doubt that you've seen this. It's an Instagram thing, but it's a bunch of people celebrating Cuomo being gone, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick.
This is spicy.
The title is Blacks, Browns, Whites, Gays, Conservatives, and Liberals Come Together to Celebrate Cuomo's Departure. It's great to see the visual, Cash, but I think you'll like just hearing it. So here we go. Hold on a sec. And play.
What is your message to Cuomo right now? Rot in hell, you son of a bitch! Cuomo, you put pineapple on your pizza and you get no pussy! You're next, de Blasio. You're fucking next. You're next. We on your ass, boy. We on your ass, boy. If she say no, you gotta go! The Italians don't claim that kid Cuomo. We don't fuck with him. We don't fuck with that kid Cuomo. Get the fuck out of here. We got Trump in the fucking silky on Union Square. Cuomo, don't you get away with this shit. When I see you, I'm gonna grab you by your fucking neck. We're replacing Cuomo with Bobby Shmurda! Bobby for governor! Bobby for governor! Come on, get no pussy! 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 That Cuomo nigga said we couldn't be outside last year. Where we at?
We should play a game of Guess the Race for every person.
Ash, were you able to hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
It says people have hope again in the United States. That's so funny.
People have hope again in the United States.
Yeah, they're like, this is what gives me hope in the United States again. Funny enough. So yeah. But it's funny to watch. It's a bunch of black people, Italian people, gay people all getting together, just celebrating the fact that that he's gone. Awesome.
Well, not yet. We still got 13 days.
Yeah. Well, true.
You know what gets me though, man? Like he got to resign, and I don't know. I just see a double standard when it comes to this.
He's not paying half the price.
Yeah, he's not paying the price. I mean, he's getting off on trying to get off, apparently. And ultimately, he is somebody that he should be tried for murder. He lied and skewed data and killed elderly people.
That's my whole thing. They negated everything else wrong that he did with a scandal that's not even really I'm not saying it's not a scandal, but it's not a scandal. You feel me? The scandal was this dude murdered a bunch of elderly people and then tried to cover it up. Yeah.
So there is rumors that he is going to be charged in other stuff, and they're also working on impeachment, which would make sure he can never be in government again. So Christine says, since he's resigning, he gets run again. That's not true if he is impeached. You can be impeached after you leave. So they are still working on that. I've watched a couple different. Actually, I watched a little bit on CNN with them trying to make sure that he cannot run for office again. But again, there needs to be criminal charges, and they could actually do.
There won't be.
I don't know.
There won't be. There can't be criminal charges because he made a decision as governor.
It's true.
So it can't. He's protected under the Constitution.
Like that matters anymore.
I don't know if the Constitution matters anymore. I don't know. I mean, I get where you're saying the other day.
Like us, and that's all that matters. Is all you got to remember is that the power lies within the people, and January 6th showed them that.
Yeah, 100%.
They try to paint this whole crooked narrative saying that, you know, the people came in there and they had weapons and they killed 5 people and they did all, and that's not true at all. It's not true. None of it is true, and it's been come out proven to be true. What the hell is wrong with you, Pink? Hey man, you are one haze-bodied, disfigured. Dang! Why are you running? Why are you running?
This is called jail talk for anybody wondering what's going on.
Where you going? Little baby Hayes gonna come kick the door. That was a CO.
Oh.
Yeah. Just kicked the hell out the door and hit my leg. I got mad after I seen it was a CO, so I decided to roast him instead of.
You got mad? You got mad? We couldn't tell.
Oh, I was very mad.
That's funny shit. All right, so what?
Kicked the hell out the door, just hit me in my leg.
Do you need a Band-Aid? Do you want some ice to put on it?
Nah, you're not supposed to do things like that.
All right, what do you think about, Cash? One of the other things we're going to talk about is Obama's birthday. He said he was going to scale it back, and he still had almost 500 people there under a tent with no mask wearing, none of the, whatever. Not that I care because I believe in freedom. But for somebody that preaches against that, I think that's a little two-sided. Were you able to pick up any of that news in there?
Yeah, I was. I mean, think about it. We're talking about people who have set rules for the entire world and don't have to follow them because their last name is Obama. You know what I'm saying?
True story.
Or their political party, their political affiliation, which, I mean, at this point, political affiliation is it is what it is, bro. I see corruption all through government. That's how I look at it. It's not even just one-sided anymore. The Obamas are the same as the Bushes to me. It's all the same.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. One of the Bush family, actually, one of their nieces, granddaughter, whatever, their mother or whatever, their godmother is actually Nancy Pelosi. So if you don't think all the parties are attached to each other, they're attached to each other. So it's the establishment. The establishments are all.
Well, you got to be careful, Russo. Don't say that because then you'll get marked as a conspiracy theorist saying that all the presidents are related. Don't do that.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I think that they are all partnered with each other, to say the least.
You're saying
if you keep going down that road, you'll also end up being an anti-Semite because you'll discover more things.
I can't. I'm Jewish. I can't be an anti-Semite.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm black, but apparently I'm a white supremacist. So, I mean, there's that.
It's we're able to we're able to transition on all different ways. Cash, you're able to be you're literally what was it? Clayton Bigby from
I ain't no Clayton Bigby.
Well, that's what they paint you as. You're a black white supremacist.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They haven't even said that there's a black. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't even know that there's a black guy in here.
Clearly,
I ain't no Clayton Bigsby. I love being me. I love the skin I'm in. I think it's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, they didn't see.
The news painted a picture saying that it was all violent white supremacists, and in D.C. they're holding the violent white supremacists that raided the Capitol on an insurrection day, January 6th, which here I sit talking to you from D.C. jail, and I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, am I a white supremacist? That's a joke, because I know I'm not a white supremacist. I love everybody. You know what I'm saying?
All you got to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene is just send her a selfie of you in the shower, and she'll know. She'll get it.
That's true. They don't got cameras in here, though.
Oh, you can't do it? That's a shame. Find an app. Find a jail dick pic app and see if you can make that happen.
You're trying to give me a pre-violation, and plus, just so you know, I'm reforming my life.
Oh, yeah?
I can't make jokes like that no more. I'm trying to walk right with the Lord.
How are you going to walk right with that thing? It's been so long since it's been so long since you've been on to talk about how tall you are laying down. So I figured I'd give you a little entryway.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. I ain't gonna lie, you guys. It is depressing. We do our best to keep our spirits up, but man, I cannot explain enough to you guys how much of this is just like hell to me. Literally, it's like I'm sitting inside of a bubble and watching the world burn around me, like watching the TV. See, now before I got locked up, we were talking about all this stuff with China and CCP and election F word and the country, how the state of the country, the way things were, places being burned down, and all of this. And then I come here to DC into this jail, and I get to watch all this stuff that I was fearing was going to happen and was happening continue to happen, and then to a point where the leader of our country is okay with it. Like the dude that was all right with it all last year is leading the country right now, and got us put back in this messed up situation with these deals, the Paris Accord, oh my God, all of everything. It's like all of us are in here asking the question, what the hell really happened? Like,
yeah, you asked me today, is there any good news? And I'm like, Cash, every day it gets worse. Literally, I mean, it's not even like this week's worse than last week. It's like every day something is worse, and there's a new just absolute fuckery. You've got Chicago that is now looking at vaccine passports for everyone. You've got people recording that are in positions saying we can't be friends with, like, Australia, other parts of the world. We can't be friends with people if they're not willing to get vaccinated. We can't be friendly.
I don't know if you guys understand what's really going on. China literally unleashed a virus on the entire world, and now they're dominating it. Do you know I got a lot of CEOs that are in here that are from Africa, different countries in Africa, and they tell me that China's presence in Africa is insane. There's a bunch of Chinese people in Africa that they're taking over Africa. They're creating jobs, but only hiring their cousins. Like, they bring more people from China to Africa, and they're like colonizing. And then not just that.
It's happening in American farmland.
You look at America right now. Dude, they are. And I have nothing against anybody for their ethnicity or nationality or nothing like that. But when you are for another government other than the government that we are under, or were under, I don't even know what government we're under at this point, but the one that we were under, the Democratic Republic that we have here in America, and you want to topple that, and you want to roll with the way that they do things in the country that you came from, or you're with these ideas. To me, like, we're in a crisis, bro. It's crazy. I watched the news today. I was watching this Kelly Clarkson TV show for the first time ever. I've seen it on TV, and I'm watching. I'm like, what in the hell? They said this new song from this new band. I guess they're bringing back boy bands and girl bands, and they got a whole Chinese, which is fine. Again, not saying nothing against it, but it's a whole Chinese band of girls singing in Chinese and English and dancing like they did back in like the 90s when Spice Girls and stuff was out, or whatever it was.
God bless them.
And I'm like, what in the world? Like, it threw me for a loop, because I'm like, why are they pushing this Asian thing so hard? It was like it's kind of like the alternative lifestyle that they push. I don't want to say no word to get nobody offended, because I'm not trying to offend, but they push that. And it's the same thing. It's like they're pushing these different narratives and pushing these things to, like, get people ready for what's coming. It's always like a prelude. In my mind, I feel like China is like, I don't know, they're like one phone call away from take over America.
Yeah.
Straight up. And when I say China, I don't mean the good
Chinese
patriotic
people.
Chinese
Yeah,
people.
we're talking about the Chinese, the
over here. I
CCP.
mean like the CCP.
Yeah, which is and we've made it
You have 1 minute left.
We've made it so faux pas to say CCP because it's deemed as racist, but it's really not. We're talking about the government. The government is buying up, and their big money has been buying up places in the United States. If you're playing the game of war, like with the border and everything, they're literally doing the most obvious version of takeover in this country. Anyways, you got about 30 seconds, obviously, on your time. Give your final words, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully.
Yes. Just want to say I appreciate all you guys that have been supporting. Thank you so much. You never know how much that I appreciate it. It means everything to me and my family. I love you guys, and I pray for everybody. I pray for our world. I pray for our country, and I hope you guys are doing the same. Until I talk to you next time, unite, don't fight, be a street light, because only you can be the change you want to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, remember to pray, America, because without God, everything will fall apart.
Woo!
I love you guys.
Woo!
Amazing.
Love you, man.
Yeah, brother.
Take it easy, man. So to give you guys a heads up, we are relaunching our store in a couple days, which will have a Cashley Kelly shirt again. And that shirt will strictly go to Erica and Cash. We have the GoFundMe for his lawyer, which we can't do anything with until they decide what's going on in DC, because he can't appeal his original case until he is out of that. So we still have the GoFundMe on that, and then the same Cash shirts that we had before. We possibly might add another one. Those will go directly to Erica when the store relaunches. Last but not least, in terms of what's going on in the world of BetheChange this week, if you're in the Dallas area, I'll be shooting a show called the Rico No Suave Show. Rico and Valerie are the hosts. They're from Chicago. They're flying out for it. We'll be at Your Mom's House. Yes, it is called Your Mom's House. It's a bar and restaurant in, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pull that thing off the bottom. Boom. It's in Fort Worth. So if you want to join, that'd be a great time to do it. Get there a little bit early. We start shooting at 12. Doors are going to open at 11:30. And you guys get to ask questions, all that fun stuff. Or just hang out for a day. The bar will be open for alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverages. And we'll have a good time. I get a chance to meet some Fort Worthers and Dallasites. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. So that is this week. And it is, I'll re-put it again on the Facebook page so you guys know what's up. Aside from that, we don't have a ton left to talk about, but I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to keep today right around an hour. We were talking about, what were we talking about last?
QAnon. The fact that Casey is actually Q.
Hold the line.
Oh, of course. Thanks, Russo, for ruining that whole thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, I think I figured it out. Q is actually an ancient Mayan who is going to continue to, predict the queuepocalypse every year until, I don't know, like he gets enough credit cards, who knows. But I feel like I'm getting very strong Mayan vibes out of this whole thing.
Mind vibes.
Mayan, like 2012.
Mayan.
Yeah, remember 2012?
You said mind. I'm like, okay, I don't know where you're going with that one.
Mayan.
This is the 14th block tune.
So, well,
yeah.
So
like I said, the dude only wants credit cards. So I thought 2012 was pretty disastrous, but again, that was the year I went into the military, so that might explain a little bit of why I feel that way about that year. But
the year to be remembered.
2012 is just 2021 with a little bit of spice added in there. So so who knows? Who knows?
Jazz hands, too.
Jazz hands. But hey, like, who knows? They could have meant this year, right? So be prepared, stock up in at least 17 years worth of supplies, build the nuclear bunker, make sure that, you've got enough Twinkies in the bunker to keep you sustained for a long enough time. Actually, you can leave those outside of the house. I think they make it through radiation, don't they? Who wants to fact check me on that?
I think I heard that once also. I'll quote them bullshit.
Stamp of approval. I got it.
Fact check. True.
No, but it's I'm just so curious, like how plugged into the craziness of the community are you right now? Does it feel like they're just going crazy because like they're so convinced it was fraudulent that they cannot believe this would actually happen? So it's like this 12 stages of acceptance of grief or whatever.
12 stages of acceptance of grief. You know what's funny is the reason why I'm laughing about that is a lot of the Q followers believe there are actually stages to what they're calling this movie that we're watching that is scripted out for Trump to become back as our president. And so there are stages to that. And I want to say, I don't know exactly how many, but there's close to 12. It's got to be right
stages to mental illness. And they are in a deep one.
Like, I know at the beginning it was all about catching, child traffickers, but then it's like Q decided to branch off and become like Q Multimedia Corporation, and now it get involved in everything.
I think
and
people underestimate the ability for people to predict with relative accuracy what is consistent with a theme that they can put enough sprinkles.
It's the Nostradamus effect.
Yeah, this absolutely. That is absolutely exactly what's happening right now. I can say these things with almost a surety. There will probably be some type of civil disobedience in the United States in the next 5 years.
What?
I can say that, right? Like, and that means that, like, this is what Q did, is they went out and they looked at the political landscape. They said, wow, we've got people who are very angry. I think that they maybe had an understanding of what Antifa is and gave enough morsels to lead people to that. At best, this is like me talking about a conspiracy in order to make it make some sense for any level of understanding.
I'm in it.
See, you want to know the irony of this whole thing? So, like, Mike Lindell's been talking all week, like, the internet's going to go down, right? The internet's going to go down. And he was saying sometime this week, and then they started talking about today and stuff like that. You know the irony of the internet's going to go down, and he scheduled his event right around this. His event's on the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th.
I'm telling you, the marketing around this stuff is brilliant. My Pillow needs to be bought.
Look, I just want to point out that so there's another really big flaw in their reasoning. The internet's going to go out, going to get replaced with quantum internet, and then we're switching to Starlink. Therefore, Starlink must already have the quantum internet on deck. Therefore, Elon Musk must already have the Starlink or the quantum crap on deck. But Elon Musk is not a statist, so that man would have been exploiting the shit out of that by now if he actually had it. He'd have been like, dude, we got quantum mechanics that we're gonna put quantum internet in the quantum chip that we're gonna put in your quantum brain. Okay, guys? Like, this is Elon Musk we're talking about. He's not gonna keep it secret if he's discovered the secret of quantum mechanics.
Unless shooting rockets is a big distraction and you don't understand. Come on.
It's just a dick measuring contest. That's all it is.
Real here. Shooting rockets into space is pretty damn cool.
Look, when you're broken white, we use tape measures to measure, what's going on. But when you're a billionaire, you use rocket ships. That's how this goes. I assume that's how this kind of stuff scales. You use bigger objects as you go. Like multimillionaires measure yachts, right? Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
Can I answer this question? So, what do you think Lindell is wrong about everything? No, I think he's such a generalist that he doesn't have any specific facts that make an impactful difference.
And the other thing is it's all talk.
I just don't.
He's providing numbers and data, and if he really wants to do something about it, take it to court.
Go to court.
Well, the base one he started it all on was politicians are also child predators, right? Like celebrities are also child predators, which, if you know anything about history, makes perfect sense. And so by using that as the thing to jump off on, because Jeffrey Epstein probably gave Q the most credibility of all. I do want to point out, because somebody up there said Q made us all look stupid. Us, like.
Well, America.
I mean, they don't make anyone look stupid, right? Like, they make themselves look stupid.
I don't know if I don't think it made anybody look stupid. I think it made people look desperate. Yeah, I think that's the key word. And I think that's a better term. I think the stupid side are the people that are just like, clearly you don't get it. You don't understand. This is the way it's going to be. That's where you're starting to look
your
stupid.
Sources. No, you got to do the work yourself.
Right.
It's not stupid.
The other side of people going like, I'm looking at some research. It looks like these votes are going to change and they're going to be able to do this. That's just hopeful because, look at the country we're in. I'm not going to lie. All the Q shit that's come up, I wish it was true. I beg for it to be true. Easier. It would be so much easier. And but fact is there's the side that looks desperate and then there's the side that just looks dumb. And the side that looks dumb is becoming dangerous because it makes everyone look dumb. Like there's some woman on a couple of our posts that's just one of the worst human beings I possibly can see on social media. And she continuously lays it down like I'm a right-wing zealot, Q follower, Q nuts. And I'm like, I don't know if I know you don't watch most of the stuff, but clearly we're not. And she just hates everything that we say. I asked her because she's talking about kids dying of COVID. And I was like, there's a 5 times greater chance a kid's going to drown than die from COVID. And
the numbers are 311 to COVID, 830 to pneumonia last year, just over that COVID period. Yeah.
Right. And then you got all these different things. And I gave some basic statistics and she's like, it's people like you of why they have to fact check. And I go, okay, so tell me what the truth, give me a stat. And she goes, 1 child dying of COVID is too many. I go, cool. That's not a stat. I go, provide me with, and she goes, if I provided you with 1 stat, you wouldn't even listen because you think I'm an idiot. And I'm like, no, provide me with
something
1
about
stat.
your stats.
Give me one thing. And that's just, that is the ignorance that we're facing in this country.
Right. Who's talked to their personal physician about this whole thing? Like, have any of you guys been to the doctor to ask them a question about this?
About COVID?
Yeah, like just the jab and everything in general, speaking around this issue. Like, have you been and asked the questions that are general questions that you might ask?
I've used the VA because they're calling and trying to get us to do it. And I asked them the basic questions. But the thing is I was asking, trying to be a lawyer one day. So the first thing you learn is don't ask questions you don't want or that you don't have the answer to already. And so you ask, the problem is that when you start actually asking them questions that would truly factor into your decision, such as what is my legitimate chance with my current health situation of dying of COVID versus of having an extreme reaction to one of these vacationaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you ask them these questions, they don't
vacations.
Yeah, vacations.
No, the reason I ask is because like I go see my doctor occasionally, and I'm still yet to have a really standard conversation other than, is this necessary? No. Do you think it's gonna be necessary? Not from my standpoint, right? Like, so it's interesting as we've been dealing with all this crap. It's like I just want to point out the fact that, like, on a personal level, everybody goes to the doctor. And if your doctor's not throwing it in your face as something you should do, that should say a lot about what's going on in the public end of the more private business sector, we'll say.
I would also like to point out that trains still exist, and people throw themselves in front of trains at an alarming rate to the point where, like, if you're a train conductor, it's not if, but when you kill someone because they jumped in front of your train. When are we going to get rid of the Intercontinental Railroad? Because every single one of those is avoidable if you get rid of the trains.
Yeah, there's a statistic that in New York subways, it's like 90 people die a year. We don't hear about that.
Like, that's there is legitimately a force on this earth where at all times where it can possibly be. There is only so much, there's only 2 spots that really will tell you exactly where it's going to be. That is inanimate, loud, and again, obnoxious, and it kills more people than freaking sharks.
So 48 people in 2016 were fatally struck by subways, which was the lowest. That was the lowest year-end total in New York in 5 years. So
that's the lowest?
That's the lowest.
So if I go to Hawaii, I am like, this is the craziest part, right? Sharks, these things are sneaky. You don't see them coming. They're like the super predators of the ocean. And they don't kill that many people. Like, they come nowhere close to that.
In one sitting.
Like,
they're the super predators of the ocean. They aren't, though. But
they're almost. It's the orcas.
There's a few on top that the sharks don't. They're not the.
We all know it's the orca. It's kind of crazy because the orca is like almost human.
True.
in the way that it interacts with its pods. The way you can tell if a species is close to human sentience is, do their elderly females go through menopause? Because that's an evolutionary signal that no longer is your sole purpose producing more life. There's something else. Yes, it's, the hot flashes really get you, I swear.
Hey, Checkers, are you vaccinated? Out of curiosity, are you vacation and dated? Some curiosity.
COVID right now and pneumonia.
I do. I mean, I think the numbers are. I mean, I talked about it about a month ago. I was like, numbers are going up, but fatalities aren't. Like hospitalities aren't. Hospitalizations aren't. They are now. And I mean, I'll eat my words. Honestly, I'm seeing that it's going back up. But honestly, I don't know why. I don't. It's the only way to
way through.
It's burning its way through a second time. It's a variant that is vaccine resistant in many ways, and based on what Joe Rogan said, and I mentioned this last night, Joe Rogan had several doctors and healthcare professionals go to him, cannot speak up verbally about who they are, what they are, whatever, but told him that there is a direct tie to vaccine resistance and the virus evolving to become a different, more contagious, more attacking virus. This is because most viruses become less potent. This one is oddly building. What?
It's less deadly. It's a very important distinction. They become more contagious. They become more survivable. The fact that it's becoming resistant to the vaccine is exactly what you would expect through evolution. You're going to see many strains. What we've seen with the Delta variant in the places where it's gone through, it hits like a brick and it's gone. Britain's already on the other side of it. They saw a massive spike over a couple weeks and then about a month, and it was gone after that, because as viruses are wont to do, these are living organisms. They have an evolutionary incentive to survive and live. And so, like us, they adapt. If they are killing too many people, that leads to us focusing more energy on preventing it. The flu and the cold exist now in their stages because they're no longer deadly enough to deserve our attention. Therefore, they don't have to adapt far beyond where they're at now. But COVID is going to adapt rapidly because, again, it wants to survive. Right. And this is what life does. Life.
But I do find it odd that I don't think this one is, based on some of the numbers and percentages and the math that I'm doing, it's not less deadly, which it was at first. But now I'm looking at the age groups that are actually being. It's odd to me. It does not fit the bill of evolution of viruses. Right now, it is not only more contagious, it's being just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than the original, and it's attacking healthier people now, which is very concerning. Go ahead.
It's very interesting that he pointed out he had pneumonia as well, because what you would expect after a year where no one's really going out and interacting and our immune systems are not adapting to the yearly flu and the yearly cold as it goes around, as soon as we start interacting again, not only is COVID going to become more prevalent, but all these transmittable diseases are going to become more prevalent because we haven't been building up our natural immunities through day-to-day interactions. So what I think is probably happening is you are getting COVID in conjunction with the other diseases that would normally also be present throughout the year, and they're going to be worse because we have suppressed our immune systems through inaction, 100%. through sitting indoors and all this other stuff. So that's just my hypothesis, but that's purely from what I'm saying.
Why have we not shut down to the borders, which I guess right now they're testing 20% as COVID. What's that?
We shut down one.
Which one? Canada?
Which one do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Canada shut us down, I believe. Did we?
It was both ways.
So we have now allowed the Mexican border to open up and continue to stay open. Meanwhile, they were blaming Trump for xenophobia, and they're like, "No, we weren't. No, that wasn't it." Even though the speech was the same day that Biden made. He shut down travel to China when the quote unquote Delta was supposedly on the horizon, which again, I don't fully buy all that variant stuff per se. I think it's still a question. Why did we not shut down travel to India, UK temporarily? Why did we not put a freeze on it? Because let's be honest, Biden's got more hands in his pocket than any other president in history. And if he shuts down travel to all these foreign nations that have essentially made him their bitch since he got in office, he'd be destroyed by them financially. So ultimately, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a country that couldn't close our borders because we don't have a strong enough administration. And you know what? If they were going to get a handle on it, I would think if they thought it was going to be this big of a deal on the horizon, why were they not shutting down international travel again, at least for a period of time? But now we're going to be threatening travel in the United States of America to those that aren't vaccinated.
You can't go into an office building in New York.
Right? I can't.
No.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Anyways, any other topics you guys want to do, or do you guys want to wrap it up?
I just really wanted to address the current crisis over in Hollywood. Apparently, there is someone who has been going around and rendering showers and bathtubs dysfunctional, non-functional, and they're destroying these showers and these baths, making it so that celebrities can no longer bathe anymore. As Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis pointed out, their lives have become much rougher since they decided that, you know, getting that stank off their body is no longer something that is of interest to them. So
yes, Cardi B wants to know why people aren't showering.
let's pray for Hollywood that they rediscover their essential oils. Maybe Gwyneth Paltrow can send some of that gloop their way, that glorp or whatever it is, and just help them out on their hygiene journeys.
Speaking of hygiene journeys, like, I mean, I got no offense to people that are dirty in the bedroom, but all we know about Cardi B is her WAP, and to me it sounds a little bit like yeast infection, and I just feel like that she might have a little too much moisture going on down there. So I don't think she should judge other people's hygiene, because if you refer to your vagine as needing a bucket and a mop, I feel like there's some other issues that she should worry about, to be totally honest.
Wet ass P word. Wet ass P word.
And it's something that we learned earlier that Cuomo will not get because he pineapple on his pizza.
Gets no love. That's the headline. That's it.
I love that video. Nikki said, "Yuck." Somebody also posted, "How can you help Cash up there?" And then somebody said to message me. It's probably the worst idea you could possibly do. So message either Erica Kelly or Nikki Fatusis. They'll give you an idea on how to send them some fundage. But yeah, if I get it, I'm probably not going to see it, nor do I have time to do that. I love y'all, but I do a lot to work with Cash and Erica, but there's only so many messages I can see and direct. That's why we've got the Nikki Fatusis in the house, and Erica, I'm sure would love to help. So, all right, that's about what I got. Easy, you want to wrap it up?
No, I think we still have an obligation here, guys. I'm gonna steal Casey's thunder here, and 2022 is right around the corner. Here in California, you get a yes or a no vote on whether Gavin Newsom stays or goes. So let's make sure he goes.
Larry.
Recall.
Apparently, he's up by 3% right now. Newsom still has a 3% cushion.
I thought it was 50-50.
He threw a tantrum on TV, on TV a couple of nights ago. He's really struggling with this whole thing. So I think he might be buying the pity vote pretty well right now, which in California serves, I don't know, like 70% of the voting base. So
yeah,
feelings over facts.
But if you are here, go ahead and vote no or vote yes, to unseat the current gubernatorial issue we have, that is California's Gavin Newsom. Other than that, 2022 is around the corner. We still have avenues to help. I know everybody's worried about election integrity, all that kind of stuff, but this is the system we have, so let's use it the best we can. We'll deal with it when we can, but that's my piece tonight.
Love it. Case.
I'm just happy that I lost my internet today and all of the stores closed. I don't know how we're communicating, but this is just amazing.
Starstream.
It's just fantastic. So just remember, we have 10 days of this no internet stuff. So we're going to have to just deal with it. And your TV is going to just play some random clips of prior corruption of the government for 10 days. So just be ready for it. It will all come back around after 10 days. It will be okay.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting for it. Thank God for the 17th letter that is our Lord and Savior. So there's that. Excellent. We don't have time, unfortunately, for Kevin. That's sad.
Next time, Kevin.
Early this time. I didn't even cut you off. Kevin, that's great timing.
Terrible.
Dylan knows me, so of course he would understand that's true. Yeah, don't forget to check out Liberty Revolt, guys. Thank you so much for having me on once again. I just want to say that just always remember that I'm going to say it every time. We're all in this together. If you are an individualist, you should understand that it is we as individuals being the best individuals we can possibly be, because that is the best way we can create the communities we want. Whether we want to be alone or we want to be together in all of this, you still have to be the best version of yourself. Strive to be the person that, if there were hidden cameras around, we wouldn't have to worry about what you're doing behind closed doors, because you're always doing the right thing. Principles only matter when they're being challenged. If you're being challenged on your principles and they disappear, you never held them in the first place. So remember, in order to actually say you hold your principles and you stand by your values, you have to do it when they're under fire. So just 100%. Stay strong. We're going to get through this together, guys.
Yeah, and guys, make sure you check this out. If you just go to our Rumble page, I put it in the side. That has last night's truth will set you free. We had a nurse on giving frontline information, and just it was a really great episode. I don't know how long it'll be on Facebook for. Most of these episodes I put up on Rumble as we go, so make sure you follow our Rumble page so you can see those, just in case Facebook and YouTube, which have progressively started pulling more than we had before. So thank you guys for doing that, and hopefully I'll catch some people in Dallas this week, Fort Worth area. Aside from that, I think that's about time to wrap up. Glad we had Kash on tonight. Easy, thank you. Casey, as always, and small schlong Kevin. Good to have you on the show.
Tiny P.
I can't believe you changed. I can't believe you changed your thing to that. That's super awkward.
It is Tiny P. Okay, like if we're gonna do it, it's
recorded,
Tiny P.
Right?
Skinny P. Okay, we can Skinny P.
God, so great to talk about how small Kevin's schlong is.
The schlong man, dude. He's
when I came out, they were like, "Oh my god!" Like, does he have a Tic Tac on him? No, wait, that's his penis.
Do you need a Pringles can?
It's a microphallus.
I just call it my clit, and the transition is going to be much easier for me than you guys. Get over it.
Sweet baby Jesus. God, if you guys could see Casey laughing right now, so good. I'm gonna start calling you Tic Tac, Kevin. That's gonna be your handle. Is Tic Tac.
TikTok.
Tic Tac. I'm about it.
Tic Tac.
Look, I'm not a 45-year-old man. Okay, I'm not on TikTok.
This is true.
Okay.
Somebody we know around here likes the TikTok.
My TikTok is blowing up. All right.
I've got all the boomers watching.
Awake, not woke, USA. I'm hot. I am on fire.
All
right, I gotta go.
I wish you could see my bullet art. My bullets look like a wiener.
Scott Dick Tac. Oh my god, it's so good.
Dick Tac.
All right. I feel like Dylan just said to finish you off. That sounds awkward. You guys should stop hanging out like that.
I mean,
speaking of which,
he knows his place.
What did you send me earlier, Easy? I want to end on that. What the hell was it? It was so friggin' funny. What was that article?
It was titled, hold on, I have to pull it up because this shit is funny. The article is titled from the San Francisco Chronicle. These women beat off 7,000 other applicants for jobs at a California winery. That pays $10,000 a month.
Which is funny because, by the way, I wanted to apply for that job a couple of years. I remember when that got posted. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
You wanted to be the guy beating off all the immigrants?
I didn't know that was going to take
7,000 other people to get there, dude. And your arms are so
with services like this, it's no wonder every immigrant wants to come to our country.
Facts.